Thank you very much, guys. So here we go once again. I'm here with ZP for this one. China versus France. China win, they are done and through. France win, it makes it very interesting.
If France wins, we open up the possibility of having another round of tiebreakers, which would be awesome, at least from my point of view. I just want this to go all night.
Well, I'm not sure the production crew quite agree with you, but we have some awesome games nonetheless. 2-1 was the score for China-Thailand. How will it go? It's going to be Nepal once again, and here we go. So, as they just mentioned, Jamli is indeed warmed up, but Meng Mao was the mountain, the man that can, as Mitch would phrase it, along with Pengu. They were working very well as a team, getting the locks in there. Now, the question is, what are France going to bring to the table? Are they going to do any adjustments? Crew looking like he's going to be on the McCree.
For France, Crew has been running the McCree quite a bit, and don't forget, too, when all these teams ran against each other to begin with, we are repeating history here where China did beat Thailand. France came in today, beat China, and if they do that here, there's a possibility that Thailand could come in and beat France once more. So right now, if there is matchup differences between these teams, it is coming out a little bit, but China, they are the masters of their own destiny here, because if they take out France, that is it. They will be moving on.
In terms of team comps, how do you see this one going? I mean, both are running fairly identical. Deegan at the moment on the Reaper being the big difference, of course. YJP on that Winston. But here we go. They're going to be jumping straight in there. And what we've seen so far is the winner, the aggression, the man that comes out on top in this initial exchange generally will win the map.
It is very important to get first control here, though we do see things go back and forth, but hang on, here we go. We have YJP jumping right in, immediately getting punched. Deegan there at the Reaper. First pick up here from France, and France now seizing the opportunity, moving forward, starting to push China off the point. China struggling to get the counter pick, and Jamli on fire still. Does get that pick, immediately punched by Crew, though, as both teams getting into it.
Sneaking around the back, but Meng Mao starting to burn them down. Deegan's picked himself up one. That is going to be Jamli picked up as well, and suddenly France look great. Deegan comes in, Naibar goes down. Crew's sneaky little play around the back has worked out perfectly, and France will cap out the first point.
And that is high risk, high reward for any McCree player, where if you do go around the flank, if you're not punished, you can pick people off just like Crew did there. However, if a team jumps back in on you, it can be deadly. Crew's gamble paying off. France gets first cap, and you take a look at the next fight. They will have the nano boost. They're going to have Graviton Surge. They have the tools they need to shut down China on this next push.
Meng Mao needs to get his Graviton Surge ready, but is not good to go just yet. There is, of course, the Earth Shatter, but it doesn't matter when you have Deegan going wild. He throws in a quick quad kill with the Death Blossom. Thank you very much. We'll keep that percentage ticking.
And that is a great use of ultimates there coming out from France as the standard combo of Nano Boost into Death Blossom, but it works wonders, and they still have the Graviton at the ready. Now take a look at what China's building up here. They have a Nano Boost of their own. They're not going to have a sound barrier, so it's going to be a little bit rough for them going in on this next push. France still working at a very big advantage.
Trying to push around that right-hand side again. You can see Nox ready with that Graviton Surge. He's trying to bide his time, sit around, let them come onto the point, trying to draw them in, get around the side there. Graviton Surge goes down, the shield still holds, the Deadeye comes through, and there it is. Deegan once again onto the tanks. Pengu and YJP picked off. The rest of the team are just fodder.
What we're seeing right now is that Mikolo and Nox are creating a lot of space for Deegan to get into the backline, get early pickoffs. There was no Death Blossom Nano Boost involved there, but Deegan still so good with his primary fire, able to get the pickoffs that he's looking for. However, all is not lost for China. They are going to have at least one more good push left. They will have a Nano Boost up and ready. Sound barrier soon to be on the table. And Meng Mao, so deadly with Gravitons, could set up his team here versus France, who is relatively drained on ultimates right now.
80%. That's what's up for grabs. They may have one more chance, but they're going to get a good position. They're flanked around the side now. Look for Meng Mao. He's going to be the man that tries to launch it. There's going to be the biotic grenade going out, but Deegan comes back around the back. The Rufflecopter running in full effect. He will pick himself up. Yet another triple kill. This is working so well by the DPS players of France.
Deegan continually catching China off guard here. Definitely putting in the work, and now for France, they take a quick round number one away from China. And remember, this is not a 3 out of 5. This is a best 2 out of 3. This is pure tiebreaker. France, one round away from taking this map and putting themselves that much closer to getting out of this group stage.
Now, we can't get ahead of ourselves here, ZP. We saw this already. Thailand took down China 100-0 on the initial opening map, and they came back, did the reverse sweep and took it 2-1. We're going into, I believe it's Shrine. I'm just looking for waiting for it to pan around here for the next map. This is a map that China did well on. This is one they held out strong. It went very close, though, against Thailand. They've not made any adjustments. They're sticking with the same composition.
China pretty comfortable here at brawling in the Sanctum. The Sanctum phase a little bit more up close, a little bit less crazy poking around the sides. Teams have to engage each other a little bit harder here, but you take a look at what's going on right now.
Sanctum,
you see both teams fighting here on the perimeter, and teams will take it a little bit slow up until they get that first pick, then they get very aggressive. You see here both teams are changing. Mikolo getting a little bit low, but neither team fully engages. Jamli just looking for the pickoff. Pangi going in, Jamli taking that crew. It's 3 quick kills from China, and here they go.
Yeah, that's going to be the first point taken. France can't do anything to answer that. It was just really Mikolo going down early on. You can see him getting focus fired by China, and China will flip the first point. So Sanctum going the way of China perhaps here. Is it an omen? We've seen so many times this initial point being captured. China got very aggressive on the defense.
They just want to deny this gateway here where it's an archway that you can get in, but it can't be denied by the team that's back and defending. And Jamli there punishing Mikolo once more, taking him out pretty early on. And for China, this is going to delay, or it's going to let them delay France, stagger them a bit, and buy even more time on this point. And look at this lead. They do have the Graviton up and ready.
Yeah, that's a quick Graviton surge as well for Meng Mao. He's built that up very quick. You can look at his opposite number. He's only at 70%. Not too sure if they're expecting it, whether they walk straight into it. They don't burn anything, so it's not too bad. They didn't bother trying to use any ulti economy there. France will get wiped out. It was a straightforward team ace for China, and we're going to be at 50% before they can push it.
And China right now working with all sorts of momentum on their side. Their ult bank almost completely full. They will have the nano boost up and ready. And for France, this just needs to be a junk rush. They can try and do something with nano boost, and they are going to try and do it, but they are running into a blunder. China has so many tools, they immediately take down crew. And Lee, I don't know if this is the fight that France really wanted to take here.
Deegan boosted in, but he couldn't take down Meng Mao, and that was really what France were bucking on there. They were hoping that they could force them through, and look how aggressive China are going now, pushing them all the way back into that spawn point, locking them out the doors. Now, France have a good lot of ultis ready for this next fight.
The upside for France is they only used the nano boost. I think they could have gone away without using it, but now they are going right back in. Crew lucky not to die, eats a lot of burst damage. Nox moving in, Graviton is in, pulls in 2. We'll see if they have the fall through. YJP having the do problem range cannot leap out of that door, and France with 64 advantage. Now moving into the point.
Good sound barrier goes down. China in trouble. They're forced to back away. They hit 90%. It's a decent percentage score for them, but France will flip the point back on its head, and they didn't use a great deal. Just the sound barrier, the Deadeye being used in there. They're going to have a lot stored up. Nox had to use that Graviton Surge, though, so that will not be available, and that's a big tool in France's kit.
And take away D-Gun in the corner, just ready and waiting, going to pounce. Death Blossom in, gets to the backline, takes out Pangi, looks for more. Meng Mao gonna fall. 2 kills here from D-Gun off the Reaper corner ambush.
Yeah, Pangu had no chance there. You can see YJP falling down, Deegan trying to build himself up. Nox didn't get any percentage built, so China is starting to get a bit of an advantage in ultis, because France obviously had to burn that one out. And if they lose one fight, it is all over. We're going to go to the third map.
That is exactly right. Right now, China, all they do need is 1, and they have a lot in their war chest to do this, so they're going to have multiple cracks at this. France, a little bit against the wall here in the Sanctum. They are backing out. They're giving China some space to move in, and China can decide this. Meng Mao holding on to that Graviton. Very well could suck them in, and there it is.
They're going to go straight through. The biotic grenade goes down. The Earth Shatter gets blocked out, but Pangu comes in. China are looking good. Deegan's got himself Meng Mao down. That's a good kill, but YJP continues to try and punish. He can't get himself the kill on Nox, though. Lincoln does pick off crew, gets him boots off the edge perhaps, but China will flip the point, and now France, if they don't get back on here, it's going to a third map.
This is do or die here for France. We'll see if they can even get into overtime. They will not. 1-1, and now remember what's at stake for China. If they can pull out the next round, they will get out of groups. They will be at BlizzCon weekend. So for China, they just need to take the next step.
And they'll be top in the group as well, because they'll have beaten them both, and that's exactly what they need. And then obviously it would be a giant decider match between France and Thailand. This is, of course, the big Graviton Surge. It works really well. China started off really, that was the big difference. The big start they had, it got themselves to 90% on the board at the very beginning. So, third map and final map. Now, we heard a little nugget of information from Reinforced, talking about the fact that they do use Bastion. It doesn't look like we're going to get it for this time from France. It's a bit ballsy in the last map.
This is the village stage where a lot of times teams have run Bastion here. It was the old Northern Gaming team where Mangachu used to run it all the time on this particular point, but not going to be seen here. Both teams just rushing into the high ground. France being way more aggressive. Crew flashbang over the top, trying to set the Reinhardt. Doesn't quite work out early on, but Bangu definitely eating a little bit more extra poke here, but it's Meng Mao punishing D-Gun, and here comes China once more at the first 2 kills.
Crew tries to get around. He's trying to salvage anything that he can, but unfortunately, he's being surrounded by China. France are falling, and China will take the first point. So now France have to back themselves up, regroup, and figure out exactly what they can do. Good adjustment here, by the way. YJP switching over to the Tracer this time around. Meng Mao, of course, sticking on towards the Xayah.
There's a lot of room for Tracer to maneuver on this map, to use the terrain, to use all the cubby holes here to her advantage. Here we go, France going in once more. They're ignoring the high ground, coming in from low, forcing China onto a point. And what you're going to see here is Crew moving on the flank, has Lucio in his sights, will take down that Lucio. A quick pick here from France as they push the point once more.
Picks off Lincoln. That was a good kill indeed. Pangu, oh, he had the Earth Shatter, but he didn't get a chance to use it. He gets cleared off point, and then it's Deegan coming through. He gets himself a quick double. France are going to flip this point back on its head. The pulse bomb doesn't land, doesn't get a kill, and France are back in control.
France right now not going quietly into that good night. They want to win this right now, because going into a best of 3 against Thailand, who knows how that would go. You don't want to put yourself in an elimination situation. And France, they're going to hold strong here on this high ground. Mikolo holding on to that Earth Shatter. Jamli on the other side, going to be looking for the Death Blossom. But here comes Crew, setting up here with the Deadeye. Multiple skulls popping up. China immediately reversing course, but Lincoln did not get the memo, was not able to get away.
He gets around the side. The Tracer manages to get a rewind just in time. You can see YJP, he'll get picked off, and immediately Mikolo goes aggressive, jumps on the rest of China, goes straight around the side, but he's been dealt with. That's a Graviton Surge coming in, and suddenly the boost on Pangu causes France all sorts of problems. Nox is going to get forced down. The Biotic Grenade not enough to save him. He gets himself his Graviton Surge off, but there's no damage to follow it up. Meng Mao gets himself a triple, and China are right back in it.
D-Gun with a little bit of error there, going for the Death Blossom into the backline when the fight was definitely not trending France's way, was looking for the miracle, did not get it, and now France going to be the ones at the ultimate disadvantage. They're not going to have a sound barrier. They used it in the last fight for nothing. China will have that sound barrier up here for the next fight, so for France, best chance for them is going to be Crew going on the flank once more, somehow getting a pick off early on, but if China opens up the sound barrier, it's going to be rough, and they do just that.
Crew gets around the side, they're on the point, but the problem is they are up against those ultis. There's the Earth Shatter coming down. Deegan gets himself the opener, but Jamli quickly strikes back. Deegan boosted up, not anymore. That has run out. It's not going to be enough for France, I don't feel. They're going to try and chase down Jamli. They can't get the damage back on him. Deegan just playing hide and seek around the pillar to try and get him down. You can see they've almost capped the points out. They've backed away. China are forced off, but YJP comes in, gets a quick triple. That'll do. China holds strong, and now real big problems for France. They're going to get one more attack.
For France, this is do or die, all or nothing for China. They are one fight away from going to BlizzCon weekend. Meng Mao holds the key to their victory, holding on to that Graviton Surge. There's no support ult to stop him. If he gets in 3 or 4 people, that could be it. The Graviton is in, and he reels in everyone. Here comes China for the fall through.
The Deadeye's not going to be enough. Crew gets just the one down. It's Meng Mao, but is it going to be enough? It's a 1-for-1 trade. YJP comes in, gets Deegan down, but look at the health bars of France. They're dropping, as are China. Jamli comes around the side. YJP picks up another. The Earth Shatter connects on no one, but it's China that will rope, and they will be going to BlizzCon. China come out on top with a successful win over Thailand and France. 2-1 in both games, and both times, ZP, they come back from 100 to 0 on the first map. They have the endurance to dig deep.
China not giving up even when the times are rough. And Meng Mao, how fitting for him, where he has had a great weekend overall on that Zarya, coming in with the kill shot there on France. France now going to be facing off against Thailand in a do-or-die situation. We will not have infinite tiebreakers. The next matchup will decide who from Group D is going in to BlizzCon.
What a cracking series. Let's get over to Rachel and the guys.
Whew, D-Man, ZP, you guys are great together. That was quite fun. And now we have one of our first teams going to BlizzCon. So congratulations, China.
Yeah, China will, with a 2-0 victory, definitely be going out in the first seed. And that means we are heading into our final match of the day, which will determine whether Thailand or France will join them as the second seed from Group D.
This is going to be exciting, man. It almost feels like a rematch from yesterday, and that was very, very
was
close.
really close.
So I think it's impossible to predict who's going to go through here. I mean, again, you can argue that maybe France a bit warmed up, but then you can argue that maybe they're a little bit feeling down from losing that. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
I prefer to argue analytic points instead of pretending to know how players feel.
It's all about emotions.
There was a lot of things.
just surmising.
There was a lot of things going on in that series, even though it was short. We saw China pull out the triple tank composition to begin with, and they did opt for the Winston for the first fight, but then swapped over to the Roadhog, which gave D-Gun just the time of his life because they tried to focus down the Reaper, but it didn't work out. D-Gun killed everyone. And moving on to Sanctum, we saw China instead swap to a Winston instead of the Roadhog, which put pressure, so much pressure on Kriv and shut him down, the McCree player. And basically, with that momentum, they basically just won Sanctum. So that was really cool. They changed up the triple tank and adjusted, and won the point fairly, and then they ended up on Village.
And that's not where the Bastion came out.
No,
so
that's why they lost.
No Bastion. Is that why they lost? All right.
Yes, no, but we saw a brilliant play from YJP on that Tracer.
Yes. Oh, on the Winston, too. And one thing that we could have noted versus Thailand is that was one of the big defining factors, too. When he switched over to Winston and was able to control the backline, able to control Oputo's Genji as well, when he dived in, that was actually a major part of their win. And YJP's Winston has been on point.
Yes. Now, I did think that the Tracer pick on Village was not going to work out. And it started out with China actually losing because you have that McCree, and it was just the Kriv show. Basically, he was standing on high ground and just laying out the damage and just killing Tracer after Tracer. But then China won a fight because they had ultimates, and we then saw France pushing from the low ground and onto the point, which gave YJP so much space on that Tracer to basically do what he wanted. So I think if France would have gone on the high ground instead, protected Kriv, he could have done a much better job to win that final Village point.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest, though. We saw some throwaway ultimates. I was not as impressed with YJP's Tracer. I have to agree with you there.
They're not South Koreans.
We saw the Zarya get up to like 83% ultimate, and then he just like throws a random pulse bomb and dies. I'm like, well, could have had a combo on the respawn anyway, but I guess it wasn't going to happen.
It hasn't been the best day for Lucius either, but...
Yeah, there was like a single man sound barrier, I think, in that first point on Shrine, so...
we like to be positive in this exhibition.
It happens to the best of us.
Who's we? You can be positive.
Me and Rachel.
Forrest, we'll be positive.
Don't drag
Everybody
me
but you.
into this. I don't
Rachel,
that.
be with me.
Oh, you're alone over there, Chief. But I think this is where we start seeing these teams. You know, they were so closely matched, and it's just a difference of where people make mistakes and when. So hopefully, I mean, we have France and we have Thailand coming up. Both these teams, it's like a Sophie's choice. I love them both. They're both fantastic.
No, you want Thailand to win.
I don't know what Sophie's
You
choice
want
is.
Thailand to win?
Well, Doa, I would explain it to you, but it's a little dark.
It's it's a very dark reference.
I just want to stay in the great mood I'm in right now, so let's avoid that. Let's avoid that if possible.
All right.